Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. And in this video we are taking a look at one of the figures from the Infinity Ultron Disney Plus wave by Marvel Legends. And of course it is Mr. Knight from Moon Knight. So let's crack him open and have a look. Now on initial inspection this is a really sharp looking figure. The details in his suit are fantastic. He comes with two additional kind of gripping hands which aren't just standard white hands. You can see there's actually a bit of sculpting on there. He comes with his two sticks. I can't remember what they're exactly called, but the detail on these are really nice. There's all the hieroglyphics and there's a little gold trim on there as well. And of course he comes with a Build-A-Figure arm piece. So let's have a closer look at the actual figure. Now the head sculpt is pretty decent. So it's a little bit slippery. Let me just and again. But yeah, the head sculpt is really decent, and for a masked character, for a masked head, it's really nice when you can see that they put the work into the detail on the head sculpt. There's all the stitching lines there, there's the stitching of the moon, and it runs down and there's like a nice blue and white kind of glow in his eyes. The actual suit is really nice. The arms aren't pinless, they're just your standard jacket arms, and you've got the kind of jacket overlay bit that's got the waistcoat in it, but the legs are pinless, and the shoes are a new sculpt, which rightfully so, because his shoes in the show were bandaged as well, so I'm glad that they added that extra little detail there. But this is definitely a good figure. If you're a fan of the Moon Knight TV show, then in my opinion this is a must for your Marvel Legends collection, just because Mr. Knight was quite an iconic character in the show. When Stephen got the suit, and he, think of the suit, he said in it, and he was in a dressed suit. There's the shoes, as you can see, like bandages over them. And actually looking at it on camera, the shoes look a lot whiter than the rest of the figure, which is a shame. I didn't realise that they stood out until looking at it through the camera lens. But I must admit, in hand, they don't stand out quite as much. It's quite the colour white kind of runs through him quite nicely, but you can see under the camera lens here the different plastics in the hands and the feet. Now the two gripping hands are obviously for his weapons, and as he uses these in the show, I think this is probably how I'm going to display him. I'm going to use the opportunity to display him holding onto these. Not quite sure on the pose I'm going to do at the moment, but he comes with all the standard kind of articulation you'd expect from a 6-inch Marvel Legends figure, which doesn't disappoint. There's obviously no ab crunch because of the coat piece and the waistcoat piece, but the detail in that coat piece definitely makes up for the lack of ab crunch there. Now there are two Moon Knight figures in this wave. Of course there is both Mark and Stephen's suits, so just having a look at them side by side. I do look at these both individually. This one's the Mr. Knight review, and if you check out my channel the actual Moon Knight review will be on there as well. If it's not on there at the moment then it will definitely be on there very soon. But they do look really cool next to each other, and I must admit I didn't realise that they were different colours. I didn't realise that Mr. Knight was pure white and the Moon Knight was like a more of a grey tone, which I'm quite pleased about because they stand out next to each other as two different characters, as opposed to the same character in different suits, because it depends how deep you want to dive with the show, but I always see them as different characters because of the nature of Moon Knight and Stephen and Mark, and of course Jake as well. Here he is on a spinning platform, because there's not a huge amount more I can tell you about the sculpt of the actual figure, so I just thought I'd give you a 360 view of him because he is pretty nice. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't make the jacket arms pinless. It would have been a good opportunity for them to make a pinless version of the jacket arms. They're the same jacket arms that we've had on many suited figures for quite some time now, but I suppose if it's not broken, don't fix it. It does work. I suppose the only thing that I'm kind of a little bit disappointed about is that there's not the option to kind of remove his jacket and have him in like a shirt. That would have been nice. I can't see any plugs on the jacket, so in order to remove that you would have to cut it, and I don't really want to be doing that. But it would have been nice to have just sort of had him in his shirt and tie, because the jacket arms would have worked as shirt arms as well. So if they'd given us those kind of plugs on the side so we could remove the jacket piece, then that would have made this figure all that much better. And of course the pinless arms would have been a nice touch as well. But yeah, all in all, he's a really cool figure, and he was definitely a favourite of mine in the show. I did love this Mr. Knight suit. Slightly different to how he's portrayed in the comic books, but it is cool to finally have a Mr. Knight figure on the shelves, even if it is the MCU version. But he's definitely worth picking up, and he does come with a Build-A-Figure piece, so if you are building that Ultron, that Infinity Ultron, then you're going to have to pick him up anyway, or try to get that Build-A-Figure piece somewhere else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and all of those things, and I will see you very soon.